Hey Patrick, so looking at your turn in here, and so just kind of going through, I'm looking at your reference, I'm just thinking about, other kind of references and faces I've seen in the past. So a couple things. One, I know you're putting, some sort of light on the eyes, but I feel like your eyes are overlit. So if you look at this image, it's nice. It's catching a little highlight here, which is all you really need. Um, there's a little bit of life in the eyes from the reflections, but it's not overly bright, right? So um, your eye sockets feel like they're not getting quite as much shadows because of how much they're being lit. So I would go back and kind of rethink how you're lighting the eyes. Um, Also, I feel like either you don't have any details up in the forehead or all yours are getting kind of washed out. So I would look to this image as a good overall, feel to try to end up with. Okay. If you look at your eyebrows as well, and your hair, like your hairs, I think we're still making them a little too thick. So we need to make the hairs a bit more thin and add more of them. Excuse me. So we still have a little bit of a baldness pattern up front here, right? Um, each one of these clumps is made up by several hairs, okay? And that makes these clumps, but it also helps get some of these flyaways. So I think we need a little bit more flyaways from the clumps. I like the way your initial clumps are looking. I just think that we need more hairs, okay? Also down here, it looks like you took maybe the hairs too far down creating, so I'd get rid of some of these. Like your hair down here will grow, especially on the sides, a little bit more thinner, and it'll be a little bit more kind of wispy hairs than what we're seeing with yours. Um, Same with like the eyebrows. You probably need twice as many eyebrow hairs, make them thinner. Um, and then you just need a couple that are a bit more chaotic. And it usually happens out towards the sides here. Um, we're getting this dark line right here by your lips. So either there's no mouth bag or you have a very tight crease there on your lips, but it should be a little bit smoother of a shadow than what we're seeing. And same with the nostril, it shouldn't go to such kind of a black hole. So maybe you don't have texture painted up there and you have it painted black, and same back here by the ear hole. But we shouldn't see these big black spots. Notice his nostril, it kind of fades a little bit into darkness, but we're getting still some detail there. And then the ear, these kind of shelves or lips right here are a little harsh. So I think you just need to take another kind of pass on the ear and kind of up the quality of the ears a little bit. Take another pass at the anatomy, and that's going to help out a lot. Um, that's that's a lot of what I'm seeing here. Maybe take the light down a bit too. We're getting some hot spots over here, and it's getting kind of blown out. So it's, maybe you're overly lighting things a bit here. But overall, pretty good. I mean, we're starting to get close to that feeling of skin. I think your eyes are looking good. They're just overlit. Um, so the eyebrows, even here, you can see she has much more hairs. And this feels a little, kind of CG-ish, cartoony. I still think your textures for the face are a little low res because we're not getting any of these skin details. I'm going to try to find a link for you that I'll send where you can get some high-res images that you don't necessarily have to pay for that might work out for you. It'll be a little more work cleaning them up because they're not like all set up for you, but it might give you what you need. And on here, I think her hairs feel a little thick to me, which lends to that kind of cartoony look. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily follow how thick her hairs are with yours. I would go more with this guy right here. Yeah, like look at how thick kind of these eyebrows are, and then look what happens, towards the end here. So make sure kind of changing up your groom pattern as you go through. And then I still would like to see, um, since we're going for this high res, like his cheek should have just that little bit of peach fuzz. It'd be nice to see, some beard stubble going through here. So I know you had to get all these images done for this Thursday, but let's kind of touch base, see where you're at this week, and keep up in the game on this guy.